Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and you know what that means at 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock is Tuesday with Northern Stamper. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Tina Kvergich, and I am a Northern Stamper. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I love to create cards. So thank you for joining me. Let me know where you're calling in from or checking in from. Today is a bit of a rainy day, so it's a great day to be in the basement crafting away. So let me know what it's like where you are and if you're going to craft today too. So anyways, like I said, my name is Tina Kvergich. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to check my email, my messages, and I'm glad. Next week, the mini July to December mini catalog, which is like a holiday catalog, finally goes live for all of customers. So if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you're located anywhere in Canada, please join me for classes or events or anything like that. I got a whole bunch coming up starting in September. Good morning, Amy. I'm glad you could join me. So the mini catalog, if you don't have one, let me know in the comments below. I'd be thrilled to send one out to you. You will also get the celebration, which is when you spend $60, you can choose something for free from the celebration catalog. And you can see I still got something I want to get. Of course, I always have something I want to get. So anyways, the mini catalog, the celebration, and if you'd like, I will even toss in the annual catalog, which has all of the great stuff that you need. Today, we're going to be using Beauty of Friendship. Sorry about that. Which is, there's a die set that comes with this, so if you like. And this is all about trees. I love trees. I'm a big tree person. If you know me, I love nature. Sandra knows me. Hi, Sandra. How you doing? Hope you're having a great time on your boat. I love nature so much so that I will give up my garden for the deer and the rabbits to eat all of my stuff. So if you saw my post yesterday, was it yesterday? The deer came in our backyard and ate all of our flowers, but I really don't care. So love nature. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, Gail. I'm glad you could join me. How's the weather out there out in the west part of the country? Let me know. So I am going to show you something very, very special today. We're going to be using the stamp set, and I'm going to show you a very technique on how to use this. I love this. And we had a really great time creating these cards. So if you live in Canada, like I said, please join any of my classes. Or even if you live anywhere else, I can mail catalogs to anybody in Canada. So if you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. I also offer lots of activities and stuff for my teammates. So if you want to consider joining my team, let me know. Starting in August, they have a great deal going on, and I can help you get the most money. Who doesn't like to save money for your starter kit? I don't know about you, but usually when I would go to the large, I'd spend at least $100. So if you're spending that on supplies now, get in contact with me. I can help you make the most for your dollar value. There's so much more than just getting the starter kit. There's so much way more value than just that. There's a great community that you get into, lots of training, lots of ideas and inspiration and support, and oh my gosh, I could go on. Oh, Gail, it's hot and smoky those days. I guess, yes, from the fires. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Good morning, Rita. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to show you one of the classes that I had just done. It's called a fancy fold class, which means usually cards open just, I don't have a card with me, opens normally. And, but these classes that I offered, we did a fancy fold class, and we did a very different type of card. I'm very impressed with it. So it's using one of the free items from the celebration. Love this delicate dahlia. So what we did is we created this card, but wait, it gets even better. Look at that. Check that out. This is a huge card. So this is just not like a regular card that you would drop in the mail. This is huge. This is something you stick on your mantelpiece. Isn't it gorgeous? And check out that dahlia there that we used. It is a 2-stamp. That turned out so fantastic, and I cut that out. This was a great class. I had a lot of fun. Dawn and Jennifer joined me with this, and we had a lot of fun. There was no kite cards created, so it was a pretty challenging, but we walked through it very easy. And like I do, I always record all of my classes so that you can always go back and watch them. And of course, any of my direct team members get these classes all for free, because I will then send them the dimensions and everything, and you use whatever you have on hand that you can that you want to create with. So, oh, good morning, Jane. How are you doing today? Thank you very much. Yes, it is a nice card. So I wanted to show you one more thing. When am I heading to Newfoundland? I am heading to Newfoundland in the end of August, the last week of August, first week of September. So I'm very excited about going to Newfoundland. I'm going to be doing maybe some classes, visiting some friends. And so for that, what I've decided to do, I'm going to take my Arctic bears with me. Love these guys. I don't know. This just reminds me of Newfoundland. It's fantastic. So those that know, my son is going to university there, and I'm going to be setting him up. So, but I wanted to create a little card for him. Shh, don't tell him. Julia, if you're on here, don't tell him. Anyways, so this is the card, and it says, my heart is with you every step of the way. It may be backwards, but that's what it says. But check it out. Very nice. Look at those cliffs. They turned out really great. It's just using some ink, some blending brushes. You can't tell. I don't know if you can see the colors. I tried to make it like Northern Lights. There's the green, the blue, the pink, and yellow in there. So I'm going to surprise him and give them as he gets into his room. So I love that card. And hopefully he'll remember me. I hope so. So I'm going to be going to Newfoundland, bringing a couple of stamp sets. Arctic Bears is one of them. So if you're in Newfoundland and you want to craft with me and check out some of this, drop me a comment. I'd love to meet up with you. I'm going to be meeting my wonderful friends. Can't wait. Karen and Jennifer. Very excited to meet them. So anyways, let's get on to crafting. So make note, today is a new technique. So hold on, ladies. Let's go for a little bit of a ride. So, oh, there we go. Get my Lego out of the way. All right. As I mentioned, hold on. There we go. Hold on. Okay. As I mentioned, my name is, Tina Kavergich, and I am Northern Stamper. Oh, look at that. Woo-hoo. And if you need to reach me, just drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com. Pretty simple. northernstamper@gmail.com. I am located just east of Toronto in Ontario, but it doesn't matter where you are in Canada. You can join some of my classes. You can join my team. I do get together even on video, one-on-one or anything like that. So good morning, Angela. I'm glad you could make it. So starting in September, I've got a whole ream full of classes that you don't want to miss. Look at that. So September, I have a simple ABC. If you're just starting out, that's a good class to start with. I have technique class, Christmas stamp a stack by mail, which means you create 10 cards of 2 designs, and I supply all that. There's cards to go. I have a new scrapbooking club coming up. Starting every month, it's called Book of Me. And it is a book where you are going to just scrapbook, not your kids, not your husband, not anything else, but you. It is very important that you scrapbook you, because as you get older or your kids move away, they need to know more about you. They don't They may not see you more than mom, you know, the taxi driver and stuff like that. But there is more to you than just being a mom, laundry, chauffeur, cook, and stuff like that. Let's dive in and look at the book of me. I will give you a PDFs. I will give you homework to kind of get your juices flowing. And then we'll go together and create a book of me. And that will be every month, September, October, November, and December. So that's the first half. And if you pay for that, you'll get a bonus for signing up and paying for those full classes up to December. The next part starts in January and we'll continue on and we'll do another block and it continues on like that. And every month will be something different. Good morning, Rita. Thank you for joining me. And Sandra. Oh, book of me it is really interesting. I love it. I did one and you know what? There's still more of me that my kids need to know about. I love it. So this is an 8x6 scrapbook. So it's not a full 12x12. So it's a smaller one. It is about this size. So here it is. So this is the size of the book, and inside is a bunch of pages. This is my one of my books I'm making for techniques that I do. So, but these books are great. So this is the size of it. If you have more questions, let me know. northernstamper@gmail.com. Anyways, enough yabbering on. Let's get started with some cards. Now, what I'm going to show you today is a technique that you're going to see in a couple of cards coming in this week that I'm going to be posting. So I'm going to be showing you how to create this card. This is a great card. Liz helped me design it, so I'm very thankful for her. I thank you for joining. So let's get together. So I've pre-cut a lot of the stuff out. What I need is, whoops, I'm trying to get everything here. So I've got my stamp set, which I put down somewhere. There we go. And my dies. I do need, do I need my dies? Yes, I do need my dies. I'm going to show you how to make that. So I've pre-cut the card base, and it is cut as a standard card. And what we're going to do is we need an extra piece of cardstock. So this is Night of Navy. And I just made a little piece a little bit larger. And so it's going to go on the inside. Got a piece of white for the inside to hide that. Now, are you ready, ladies? So let's get started. I do need my trimmer. So, okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, get my trimmer. First, what I'm going to do, whoops, I'm going to clean off my trimmer there, is to create this card, I'm going to take a little bit off the front. Whoops, look at all those pieces. So I'm going to take a little bit off the front here. Okay, so let's take off first. I don't want to take off a whole bunch. I'm going to do a little bit at a time. I'm going to take off 1 inch to begin with, just in case. So I'm going to fold it and see. You know what? I could go a smidgen more. Maybe I'll go a little bit more. So I got my DSP cut. I'm going to go maybe 1/4 of a little bit more. So that was 1 1/4. So I'm just going to take a little bit more off. Okay. And I have this gorgeous designer series paper. It's perfect for fall. And I want a nice frame all the way around. So I'm going to have to take a little bit off here. Okay. So let's just trim a little bit. And I'm going to make sure that it lays nice on the paper. So you can see, oh, look at that. Nice frame all the way around. Okay, so it leaves a little bit on this side. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to glue this down. I don't want to get too much on my workspace, so I'm just going to tidy up a little bit. So getting this on the cardstock really helps a lot. I love this paper. This is a great fall paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an extra little flap. So I've already pre-cut this, and it is, oops, I'm not good with centimeters. It is already 2.5 by 3.5, 2.5 by 3.5. So it's just a little bit. And it looks like a tiny little card, doesn't it? So, but I'm just going to glue that to the inside of the card. Okay, just on the inside. Can you see? Good. Oop, you can't see. All right, there we go. Let's get some of this out of the way. There we go. And I just glued it in. Now, it's kind of dark on dark, so you can't quite tell and I'm going to have a piece of white. Fold that over, make sure it folds properly. Okay. And I am going to glue some white, basic white on the inside. I love it when a card has a nice mat all the way around. So there we go. So this is, I call it a flip-flop card. I don't know what the official name is. Could be something else. And then I have a piece of basic white that, again, a nice frame around. So what I want to do is I'm going to do some stamping on here. I'm going to take this image here of the tree from The Beauty of Friendship. Okay. And, oops, my goodness. And get that on a block. And I'm going to use cinnamon cider, which is one of the new colors. So I'm going to use the tree base as cinnamon cider. So I'm going to ink that up. Okay. Now remember, there's always two sides to a paper. So if I make a mistake, oh my goodness, I got it already on me. Oh goodness. Okay. I'm going to stamp that. Now it's a little bit heavy on the inside. I can see the ink there. So maybe I stamped a little bit too hard, but that's okay. This portion is going to be covered anyways with the tree leaves. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to put it off to the side. And now this is the trick I wanted to show you. So I'm going to create an image of a tree and then I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to use, ooh, that die is too big. That's not the one I wanted. All right, let's see what we got in here. There it is. I'm going to use this image. Just want to make sure it fits on. We got a lot. So this one, you run it through the cut and emboss machine and it will cut out and it'll look like leaves. Very cool. This die will cut out a tree itself. That's really cool too. And this tree will cut out the tree here. There we go. So this is a really cool set. Oh, and look, there's some little birds. Tweet, tweet. I've got two cardinals sitting outside my door angrily asking for bird seed. So today. So hopefully they won't come beat me up when I come out. All right. So I know that this die is going to fit this paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some inking. Now these are called daubers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a variety of colors and I'm just going to daub them around. So I'm going to try and stay with the same colors that are on the daubers. I don't want to mix the colors. Okay. So this I'm going to use for a green. So I put it on my finger. Looks like a little Muppet. Guess if I put little eyeballs on, it'd be like a Muppet. Okay. So I'm going to ink it up and I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of smooshing and mushing of the colors. Okay. All right. So I don't want to do too much because I'm going to be adding a lot more colors to that. Okay. I always like to close my inks because I always have a bad habit of putting my fingers in it. So, all right. So let's get this one. This is the cinnamon cider. I put a little bit on my dauber. Okay. I'm going to tap it off a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit here, a little bit there. So you can tell there's no rhyme or reason really to what I'm doing. Let's add some bumblebee. Okay, now I got to look for a little yellow. Put a dauber on. Okay. Okay, let's add some leaves in here. Gonna add a little bit of yellow. It's kind of like a fall color I'm creating here. Okay. And one more color. Now first, I'm just going to double check. Okay. So I'm just going to create the base for now. Okay. And this is Flirty Flamingo, so I'm going to add a little bit of that in. Just a little bit. Add some orange. Okay, so I have a base started here. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to go over it with the daubers, and I am just going to dot. Okay? First, I mushed. Now I'm dotting. Very technical terms here. Okay? And you can see the difference between as I rubbed it and as I dotted it. Okay? All right, so I have that orange. That's the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to go backwards now. I'm going to grab it, ink it up, and I'm going to dot. So the rubbing kind of gives it a base, and the dotting, the pounding of it, will give that kind of design. Okay, so I'm trying not to dot over too much of the same color. Like I don't want to mix the colors too much. So I'm trying to stay like green on green, yellow on yellow, Flirty Flamingo on Flirty Flamingo. So this is the brown. So I will dot along where I've got a couple of the cinnamon cider. Okay. And it's going to keep going. So as you look at the cards this week, you're going to now know how they kind of came together. And a little bit of olive. Okay, the last color. It doesn't look like much right now, but as it comes together, it'll look really, really cool. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There's a couple of more spots I can get in just in case. Okay. I think I got enough in there. Okay, so those are the daubers. That's not to be mixed up with the blending brushes, which are fantastic. Again, blending brushes make this kind of soft, subtle color. Love this, love this, love this. Love blending brushes, but then I love everything about crafting. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to cut this little guy out. So I'm going to get my mini Stamp and Emboss machine. Love this. Now, if you don't have one of these are great, great, great things to get, especially in a starter kit. Or get it at 50% off when you reach. I can help you decide on how to get that. So I'm going to now take this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add some leaves to it. So let's take that. Oops. And in here, you'll see these are the leaves I'm going to put on top. Okay. I want to add some more depth to it. Okay. I'm going to take my block. Wink. Like I said, this is a little bit more involved type of stamping. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp on top. Right. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Love it. Okay. That's what I forgot to do. Now, get to my cut and emboss machine back. There we go. My little sandwich. It's like a grilled cheese sandwich. Okay. Put it on top. There we go. Okay. Where's the other plate? The top of my sandwich. I'm going to put that through. Okay. And through it goes. This is a great little machine. I take it with camping with me because it's so tiny. It holds up to like almost nothing. Okay. So I cut that out. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. All right. There's another technique I want to show you too, just in case. So I gotta have this type of design. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to show you a different one. So you're going to help me decide which one we're going to use, okay? So I've got my piece of paper, and so that's that first one we did with the daubers, right? The next one, this is a different technique, so you're going to help me decide where did it go? All right. I got to take off some of this ink. Okay. Now, I added with the daubers right directly onto the paper. I'm going to show you a different technique. This is taking the daubers, but putting it on the stamp itself. So let's go back. Okay. Just want to make sure I got the same ink. Let's go there. And I'm just adding it directly to the stamp. Okay. Same idea. I'm using the same colors, but using the daubers thereabouts on different areas of the tree stamp itself. Okay. And you're going to help me decide whether we use this one or the other one. Okay. Where was the brown? Okay, this cinnamon cider. So I can kind of see where a few of the colors are. Okay, stamp that in there. Close that up. I'm going to go back through the exact same colors, but it's going to give a different effect. Now you're going to use the bumblebee. Ink it up on some of the spots I think I can see that I've missed. Okay. And one more. Going to add a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. Sorry for my arm. Don't mean to get that in the way, but I only have so much space, just like everybody. Only so much space. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to stamp. This is a different way it's going to turn out. Okay. Oh, it's a little bit more brown than I want, but you can see the different colors coming in. Again, take in my Stamp and Emboss machine. Move these guys out of the way. Make sure it can fit through. Yep. Take the dies. Let's go. And cut it. And you're going to help me decide which one we're going to use. Okay? So. All right. So there are two different techniques on how to create the trees. Now, let's get them on. Now, we can't really get an idea of what it looks like until we get it on the card itself. So, put that stuff off to the side. I don't want to lose my dies, so I'm going to stick it back in the package. Okay. I am going to put the piece of white on. There's a bit of a smudge, but that's okay because that's going to be hidden. Now flip, flop. Put it on there. And you're going to help me decide which one are we going to do. Are we going to place this one on top? Oh, wow, that looks really cool. Really cool with that color. Or are we going to do, so this was the daubers straight on the paper, or are we going to do the daubers on the stamp set? So let me know which one you decide which would look better. Daubers on the stamp set, or daubers on the paper. I think they both look really cool, but I'm going to let you decide which one. And in the meantime, I'm going to, where'd it go? We're going to make our sentiment tag. Okay. So, whoops. We got some dies. There are, so these are tag dies. These are great for Christmas. There's a whole bunch in here. So they're different sizes. There's one with the little scalloped top and another one with a regular kind of tag topper. So I've already pre-cut them. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a sentiment. So I did cinnamon cider and basic white. Okay. All right. Okay, and I am going to use, because it has the Night of Navy background, I am going to use that color. And let's see what tag will fit on here. Okay, there's one that says, "You truly inspire me." Oh yeah, that fits quite nice on there. Let's get this on our block. Okay, Night of Navy. You'll notice I never put the stamps on straight on the block. Okay. There we go. It forces me to look through. Okay. So I have that. Now the reason I cut the 2 tags is so I can offset them a little bit like that. And let's add a little bit of glue. Don't forget, we're going to need to add some ribbon to this. Make sure you line up the holes to get your ribbon through. Offset the card. And now I'm going to string some ribbon through. Oh, okay. Linda says she likes the second one because it matches the paper a little bit better. I think that's what we'll do too. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bow on this. See if my fingers cooperate today. Okay, and don't go away because I got one more card after this. So I just really wanted to show you the technique of this. I love, love, love this. Oops, that's a really big bow. So I just pull on my tails, pull on the ears of the, there, and always have those convincing dots. I call them convincing dots because it convinces it where I want it to stay. Okay, so let's put this on the front. And should we put it on the top? Okay. And I'm actually going to put it right here so it kind of holds this flap down a little bit. And I am going to use dimensionals. Okay. This card doesn't want to stay flat for me. Okay. I'm going to add some dimensionals right close to the edge. I'm not putting them on that end because I want it to kind of hold the flap closed a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put that like that. See, no, look, now it's holding closed. All right, so we have decided we're going with this one. Oh, I really like this one too, but like Linda says, it goes a little bit better with the paper. I'll hold on to this, and I'm going to use it for something else. It's always an idea. I've always got an idea hanging around somewhere. All right, we're going to slip that on with the dimensionals. Okay, there we go. Let's see what I got in my little box of tossed asides. And let's get some, ooh, oh, look at that. Let's get some pearls on there. Okay, let's add some of these. Should we put it on here? Put it on here? Ah, we'll just put it on the sentiment. There we go. Come on. Just adds a little bit more. And if you want, you can add some Wink of Stella to that. Just remember, dab, not wipe. You don't want to mush the paint. So there's the first one. Okay, so that's an idea of the first one. Very simple. You thought it was a lot harder than it was. Ah, it's not. And like I said, this is like one of the classes. I go very slowly, so the card may look difficult to you. Don't worry. We will walk you through it. Okay? That looks great. I love that card. All right, I'm going to show you another very simple card using the Designer Series paper. So in the Designer Series paper, they have some that have prints on the bottom and the top, and you'll see that it's directional. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this paper. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4. So you cut them in 4 by 5 1/4, and you end up with a strip like this. Isn't that fantastic? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the card base. So there's 2 card bases. I'm not sure which color I like. I really like the brown. Ooh, wait. No, it doesn't fit. I really like the brown on that cinnamon cider. But then the blue, looks what happens when you just change the color. Just picks up the blue here. Oh, let's go with the blue. I really like that. And I'm going to grab some old twine that I got hanging around. And I'm going to double it up. Very simple. Okay. Tape it around the back. This is a super duper simple card. In the new designer series paper in the holiday catalog, I like to call it the holiday catalog, the July to December catalog. They have paper like this. It is fantastic. It's gorgeous. It is black, black and gray. We're going to be using it in one of my stamp camps. It's really, truly stunning. And you can just cut it up like this and make very simple cards. Fantastic looking cards. So I'm just going to add that on. Make a little knot. Come on. Oop. Oop. It's all sliding around on me. There we go. Gonna add some adhesive. This is one of the simplest cards to make. Add it to the front. And let us get let's see, where's my box of goodies? What can I choose? I can choose that one. I always have some that are already pre-stamped or from a paper pumpkin kit. Where did it go? Everybody's got stash. Does everybody not have a stash? Oh, look, there we go. This is from a recent paper pumpkin that I created. So we can use this one. I can put a sentiment and put it on there. I could use this one and just kind of have it on there like that. That's kind of plain, huh? Let's go with the first one. Always look in your stash. That's where that little tree one's going to go, in my stash for later. Okay, poke out the little holes. And let us get some blue. And again, we'll use the same sentiment. There you go, stamp it up. And voila, we're going to add some dimensionals. Where'd they go? They had legs. Got legs. Add them to the back. And just pop it on the front. There we go. That's a pretty simple card. Love it. Okay, so let me know what you think. If you need a catalog, let me know. I'd be happy to send one out to you. The catalog goes live to clients, that is you, next week, and you don't want to miss out. If you're interested, drop me a comment. I'd love to send you one. I hope I have been able to inspire you with these simple cards. Try this. This is a lot of fun. Hold on, ladies. I want to say the proper goodbye. Oh, there we go. And let me know what you think. Ooh, you're all shaking. And hopefully I'll see you next time. That's it. I'll see you on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and we will have a bunch of different cards. Don't forget, check out my email, northernstamper@gmail.com. Ask about some classes. I'd love to have you join. Anyways, have a very safe and crafty day. Bye.